Hey guys, in this video I'm going to review 3 motocross boots for you, and I'm not sponsored by any of these brands, by the way, so it will be completely transparent based on my experience using these boots, and some of them for up to 2 years, by the way. The 3 boots will be the Fox Comp MX boot, and secondly the Thor Blitz XP boot, and thirdly the very famous Alpine Stars Tech 10 boot that you've probably heard about. A lot of riders and pro riders, they call this the best boot you can get, okay? So overall, I'm going to rate the boots based on 5 different factors, okay? Firstly, the price, and then secondly, the level of agility. Thirdly, but not least, the amount of Footpeg feel you have, like can you feel the Footpeg through the boots? That's really, really important. And number 4, the protection factor, also important, like how well does it protect you? And number 5, last but not least, are there any problems with the designs of these boots? And since I brought this into the video, you can probably already guess that yes, there are some problems, okay? Oh, and when talking about agility, let's be more specific here. So with agility, I mean the level of mobility you have with the boot, and also the level of fitment. How well does it fit on your foot? And also like how light is the boot, like how easy is it to move around and change body position? Because if the boot is really heavy and bulky, it's not that agile, okay? So that's also a factor that plays in. And also we will talk a bit about durability, but that comes in under the problems with the designs, okay? Let's get started. So first let's go through all the prices of each boot. So starting from your left side here, the Fox Comp MX boot is only $130 if you search on eBay. That's what I found at least. Okay, so it's the cheapest boot of all of them. And then secondly, we have the Thor Blitz XP boot, which is only $150. If you look at eBay, you can maybe even find it cheaper or more expensive. Okay, so you could say that these 2 boots are basically in the same price category if you live in the US or Europe, I would think. But not for me, I live in Thailand on a tropical island. So this boot is twice as expensive as this one for me, okay, because I have to import it and maybe pay import taxes and shipment and stuff like that. Okay, the price of the Alpine Stars Tech 10 boot is $600. So it's basically 4 times more expensive than these 2 boots, or in my case, this one is twice as expensive as this one, and this one is twice as expensive as this one, pretty much, okay? So now we've talked about the prices. Let's talk about the agility factor, like how agile do you feel with each of these boots? And this is where it gets interesting, okay? So if I should pick any of these 3 boots to be the most agile, without a doubt, I would choose the Thor boot, okay? And then secondly, I would choose the Tech 10. And lastly, I would choose the Fox boot, okay? It has a few issues. It has a lot of bulging. When you're transitioning from standing to sitting, it bulges out, so it gets very thick suddenly on the side here, and that makes the boot get stuck on the bike frame when you change from standing to sitting, and also in other cases sometimes, so it really throws you off balance and makes you make mistakes. It basically makes you ride worse when you suddenly lose your balance when riding, because they get stuck on the frame because they bulge on the sides when you're moving around. Also they have bad fitment because it's not possible to tighten them up properly with the way the straps are made, and they also have like internal lacing, but you can't really tighten them up that well, so it just feels like they don't fit tight around your ankle, so you feel like you have a loose fit of the boot. So not agile at all, in my opinion. The reason I put the Tech 10 in second is they are just significantly heavier than these 2 boots. And the reason I put the Thor in first of being the most agile boot is it's light, it has perfect fitment. Also it's the only boot that has 4 straps and buckles. The other 2 sets have only 3, okay? So having 4 buckles makes it way more adjustable and make it have like a really nice fit all the way around your leg and foot, okay? And your ankle. And also it doesn't have any significant bulging on the side. It has a little bit, but you can see it wears through here a bit, but it's nothing compared to the Fox, okay? So much lighter and better fitment, and no sticking points or bulging. So totally agile boot, okay? So now let's talk about the Footpeg feel. This is funny because all of these boots have good Footpeg feel. You can easily feel the Footpegs because they have a soft, I think it's called sole underneath. And that's the most important to look for when you buy boots, I would say. Because if you don't have any Footpeg feel, like, you don't even have a usable boot, I would almost say. Like, because you have to feel you have correct foot position. When you're riding, you should feel the foot pegs under the balls of your feet, okay? I know that a lot of boots don't have a good foot peg feel. I've read that some of the city boots, especially with replaceable sole underneath, are not good. So it would be fun to do a review of the city boots as well, but I don't have those available at the moment. Now let's move on to protection factor. And this is also pretty quick to go through. So these two boots have a medium protection factor, I would say, and they're quite soft in the ankle. They don't have that much resistance if you have like a hard impact. They're very similar. So if you have like an accident, or if you like get squeezed between two bikes or something, these two boots will hurt you a little more, and this one will give you the best protection, the Alpine Stars Tech 10. So I think when you buy the Alpine Stars Tech 10, I think what you're paying for is the extra protection. It's very rigid and firm around the ankle area here. Like, you could really have a hard impact with something without breaking your ankle and heel. And also it has some technology, as you may be familiar with, to avoid like flexing too much and like hurting your ankle from that. It also has some side-to-side internal stabilizing technology. So what you're paying for with the Tech 10 is a bit extra ankle protection, but it also comes at a small cost of less agility because it is a heavier boot. But I think it's totally possible, and as you can see with the pro riders that use these boots, it's totally possible to ride just as fast with these boots when you get used to it, and if you spend enough time in the gym. So the last thing we are going to talk about now in this boot review is problems with the designs, okay? So I would say at the expensive end here with the Tech 10, there's almost no problems with the design at all. They are really, really good. The only small thing that happened was the bottom, like a small layer of the bottom sole basically came off because it got unglued. But that's after many years of riding, and it can be re-glued again. Actually, I'm maybe going to do a separate video about that, okay? But these are almost perfect in every sense. So the Tech 10 gets the first place for best design. Now with the Thor boot, there is also very few, I would say almost no design issues at all. The only thing that I noticed that was a bit strange was that the steel buckle here on the front, it came apart pretty quick. Like, it started to fall off and it bent and stuff, and it started to like be a bit dangerous for other people. So I recommend you to just basically, as soon as you start to see the steel buckles come loose, just screw them off and take them off. The boot will still last without the steel buckle, okay? That's the only thing. Otherwise, it's extremely durable and strong. I mean, it has been used for 2 years. It has a couple of holes. Here at the bottom, it started to wear through the sole, which was why I actually stopped using it. Otherwise, it was still good. I might try to repair this and just do a separate video about that just for fun. So make sure you subscribe for that. Now, we're gonna get to the Fox boot that has several design problems, and that's why I'm never gonna buy this Fox Comp MX boot again. So let's go through the design problems. Okay. First of all, as we talked about, it has this bulging on the side. When you're bending your ankles, they suddenly get very wide on the side here, and they get stuck on the bike when you move around. Okay, so that's the first thing. Secondly, the buckles here, they don't close that well. They are almost on the limit to opening up. They don't lock that tight. And if you ever have a wild situation on the track and you dab hard or something like that, you will just realize that the buckles have opened by themselves. So they come undone. So the buckles are not good. Also, I got injured using these buckles because they have a small steel edge here, and I had to modify the buckles with the box cutter, like cut away some of the white plastic here to make it possible to close them like reasonably easy. Before I had to push so hard closing them that I slammed my finger into the steel edge here, and I actually punched the steel edge through my fingernail into the meat of the finger, like somewhere halfway down the fingernail, which wasn't that fun. It was actually bleeding quite a lot. So no points for the buckles on this YouTube channel. Okay, and then the last thing that's a design issue with these boots is the fitment of, and the whole lacing system in here. It just doesn't work. So it had like shoelaces on the inside here that you were supposed to make tight, but they only lasted for 2 months, and then they wore out and broke, like, I don't know, 20 riding days or something, and then they broke. So now every time I use the boots, they have like this loose fit around the whole ankle area. So it just feels like there's a lot of air around your ankle. So it doesn't fit properly, and you don't feel agile in these boots. But I have to say that they are comfortable and they're quite waterproof. So I used them in an enduro race recently, and I was surprised to come home with dry feet after going through a lot of water puddles. So that's like the only small positive I have to say about the boots. So the conclusion of this boot review video is that the Thor Blitz XP boot gets you the most value for your money, and I will probably do the fastest lap time with this boot overall. So for training it's great. But if I'm going racing, I would probably like to pay a bit extra to get the added protection of the Alpine Stars Tech 10 boot, which is also an agile boot, just like the Thor boot. So for racing, this would be my choice. And regarding the Fox boots, well, the overall conclusion is don't buy it. The boot simply has too many mistakes in the design process, so to speak. And I'm sure Fox make great boots, but this is not one of them. You probably have to buy some of their high-end boots to get a good boot. Anyways, that was my review of 3 sets of boots, and it would be fun to also do more reviews of other boots, such as the very famous Gurney boots and City, because what I've heard and like what I initially felt when I've picked up a set of Gurney boots is they're extremely heavy. So I think that would take away from the agility, for example. And what I've heard about the City boots is they don't have any feel through the sole or the bottom of the boot. So that would be fun to test as well. Let me know what your favorite boots are in the comments and what you think about this review. Do you disagree with any of it? What other boots do you think I should review next time? And in any case, give it a like if you liked the video, and make sure you subscribe, and see you on the next one. If you want to learn more tools and techniques and habits that can improve your life quality and performance and well-being overall, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you like tropical island holidays, visit fitcamp5.com for my 2-time TripAdvisor award-winning training camp, where we train fitness and action sports together while learning to live a healthy lifestyle and, maybe most importantly, have fun at the same time. And if you're really serious about improving yourself, you should definitely check out my full online courses, where I share step-by-step programs on how I developed my own routines over the last 12 years as a CEO working in 4 different countries, while being a successful competitive athlete with more than 20 years of experience in fitness and nutrition. Check the link in the description for that. And in any case, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, be awesome, believe in yourself, and see you on the next one.